What's going on, Road Runners? It's your boy Seat Up, aka Whit, coming at you guys. And hey, the video you see right now is the season closer at All Clubs LA, Eldo. And so we're about to get this category. Actually, this is the men's masters race. This was my second time doing this race. And yeah, I can definitely tell you that I changed up something, and I will definitely share that with you as we go through this video. And yeah, so my finish was definitely different than the first time I did this race. This race took place on September the 7th of 2024. And yeah, I'm excited to be back in the YouTube game and sharing some videos with y'all. So currently right now, sitting behind Coach Anthony Freeman of Big Orange as we're going through turn number 1. And again, some data on the screen, which is very similar to what you have seen previously in the CBR season opener video. Top left is going to be the degrees for the day, or the temperature for the day. Bottom left, as you will see, there is something added there, which is going to be some elevation. Then we have my miles per hour in the bottom left. And then in the middle, you have at the bottom my power, my wattage. Above that, you have my heart rate. And then moving over to the right side, you have my cadence. And then top right, you have the course along with the lap counter and time. So again, this is a Masters event. This is my second time doing this. This race, I believe, was actually on a Saturday. A lot of Eldo races are on, I want to say, Tuesdays. But yeah, and it's very far from me. I work about an hour and a half west of where I live. And so to get from work to here on a Tuesday is about another 2.5 hours from pretty much the coastline in Port Hueneme, California, all the way to Long Beach, or to LA area, El Dorado Public Park. But this ride being on a Saturday, it was nice. I could literally just do 45 minutes from the house, and now I am at the race. So currently, again, just sitting in, you see my heart rate here, and I hope that all my data is true. It's a little bit hard using telemetry when it doesn't sync perfectly to try to sync it. So just bear with me if some of my data seems to be not right in the right place. Again, this is an old video, and we will continue to perfect it and make it better. We've just gone through turn number 3, and this is pretty much where a lot of the elevation in this course. Also, there is a crosswind going from our right to left in the screen. So again, if you are where I am, you're pretty much getting hit by the wind. Anybody to my left, they are covered from the wind. And the current location of this video is underneath my Garmin 1050 head unit. So as I said in the last video, let me know what view you like better. If you like the chest mount or you like the head unit mount, let me know in the comment section below. And I will say this, this being the second video that I upload for the 2025 season, I really appreciate the comments. I have 60 comments on the season opener video, and I really want to just keep that energy, keep that vibe going for the rest of 2025 and as long as I'm here on YouTube. So again, please comment, please like, and if you're feeling generous, please subscribe. All right, so we're coming through turn number 4 as we making our way to the start finish. This will be lap 1. So you'll see, definitely with this being the second video that I'm uploading, this lap being over 4 minutes is like twice as long as the lap of CBR. So yeah, so we just went through the start finish right there. And again, I mean, you see my data, 28 miles an hour, heart rate at 162 beats per minute. My cadence is anywhere between 60 to 90. And definitely I can tell you that in this race, I did try to lower my cadence. I've had a few different people reach out and let me know that, being a larger rider, I do have a lot of untapped, untouched power potential when I'm spinning. And so if I'm willing to try to slow my cadence down, bring that cadence number down, that I could really strengthen my quads, glutes, and hammies to really tap into the power that this big body benzo can generate. So again, I'm just sitting in the middle of the pack, kind of got squares out right there. And again, I could have held my ground, but we want to make it home. This is a Masters race. I think this is 1 through 4 Masters. So it's like, we all want to go home after this. I don't have time to be having quality time with the pavement. So I would rather hit the brakes, back up out of that as I got squares, and I can keep riding my bike and I can make it back home safely. Currently sitting behind Freddie Lindo of Paddock Racing Team. So he drove all the way up from San Diego, and I used to be a part of that team back in 2018. I think 2018 to 2019. I was a part of Paddock Racing Team, and then after that, I joined Lagrange, I want to say in 2020. But yeah, so I'm currently sitting behind Mike Remy, right there in front of me to my 3 o'clock now. So I'm just ultimately sitting in the middle of this peloton, watching wheels, watching legs, seeing what's going on. And this is going to be like a 50-minute race. So there's a lot that can go on. There's a lot that could not go on. But ultimately, the objective in this race was to finish. That was my objective, is to finish. And the first time that I did this Masters 1 through 4 race, I got dropped and did not finish the race. So the goal for this race, again, this was September 7th. So this was at the very end of the season for 2024. My goal was to finish. And I would highly encourage, each and every one of you that are listening to this, to set yourself some goals and see if you can attain those goals. Make them realistic now. And I will really encourage you to try to attain those goals. And look at your boy right here between turn 3 and 4. I'm actually moving up in the peloton. You see that wattage is up, heart rate is up, my miles per hour is up. And for some reason, I think because I'm on the left side now, that I was really sheltered when I made that move up here to Jack O's wheel of Big Orange. And I actually probably could have kept moving up further forward. But I recognize that, this was Jack O, and he's a very strong rider as well. And so I was like, this is a good wheel to kind of slot in behind. But as I was saying before, I would highly encourage you throughout your season, if you want to break the season up into quarters, I would highly encourage you to make yourself quarterly goals. And again, my goal for this race was really just to finish. I just wanted to finish. I wanted to finish with the pack and be happy. You know what I mean? With that being said, we see that we got a couple breakaways up the road. We got a group of probably about 6-7 riders, and you see the Masters are responding to that. We got a couple of guys up there. There's 2 guys that have broke off the front. So we got a breakaway group. We got a chase group up there forming. And now you see me at the front again of this. Jack O's trying to bridge over, and I'm just riding. You see I'm hitting 1,000 watts in the saddle because the camera's not, wobbling and shaking. So definitely in the saddle. And again, I catch the back of, and I think this is Kendall. I think that's Kendall right there. So I just keep going. The Masters slow down. So I just stayed steady, pushed through. And again, I'm not even pedaling right now. So all that power and that energy, momentum that I had actually brought me up to here. Now I got to be pedaling at some point. All right. So again, bear with me with this data. I think it is a little bit delayed. But hey, it's better than nothing. So again, on this side of the course, as you see, they're attacking on the right. That I'm not sure who that was in the front, but that second wheel was Lance. That boy Lance, who's racing currently with KRT this year. I think last year and this year, he went from Major Motion over to King's Ride Together and Queen's Ride Together Racing. So he's a part of that. But yeah, so on this side of the course, the wind is blowing. So if you're on the right side, you are sheltered from the wind. So you see how everybody's moving on the right side up because everybody on the left side is pretty much taking on that crosswind. So again, I keep finding myself on the front and I try to pull over to the right, but I know that the course is bumpy back over here as we're going into turn number 2. That turn between turn 1 and turn 2, the course is very bumpy. So you really have to be careful. And you'll see later on in the race that this course is so bumpy that it jars loose my Garmin. And the mount that I have, the combo mount that I have, I'm very gracious that where the GoPro mounts is actually behind where the spindle is for my Garmin to attach to the mount. So as the race goes on, you'll notice that something in the very top of the screen is kind of a little, kind of can see it now, something shaking up there. And that's pretty much my my head unit jarring loose because this course is so bumpy. Now, we just went through turn number 3. Now check out this pavement up here. It's very much so bumpy. Check it out. Now, we live in California, and the amount of taxes that we pay and how inflation is up, you would assume that this course would be paved and would be smooth for us riders, but it definitely is not. But what I can tell you, I believe when I was at Eldo, they did share that they're going to be repaving this. So can you imagine this course with fresh asphalt? Oh my God, it would definitely be buttery and be heavenly. Currently sitting behind Pat Carroll of Go Fast. And Pat is amazing. There was a point in this ride, and I'm not sure if we've passed it already, but there was a point in this ride or this race where I was falling back. And if we haven't passed it already, I'll try to call it out. But Pat definitely was a lifesaver in this race. You know, I feel like what Pat did for me definitely changed the game for me. What he did was he pushed me. He gave me a little nudge. He gave me a little push while I was falling back. And it's very interesting because there's moments on a ride or there's moments in a race where you feel like you've given it everything and you're done. And there's things that happen or transpire that somehow just give you, I don't know, the energy, the motivation, the determination to press on. And it was like after that nudge, I was good to go. It was on and popping after that. So Pat, you know, I will say thank you for that nudge. And if anybody knows Pat from Go Fast, please comment down below something that he's done to help you along your journey within cycling and or even racing. At my 11 o'clock right now is my boy Dustin Benedict. I really like Dustin. He is definitely a skilled rider. Me and him came on the scene at the same time back in 2018. He may have been racing a few years prior to me, but I definitely took a liking to him just because he's kind of like an underdog. And, you know, us underdogs in the game, we're really trying to make a name for ourselves. We just want to be seen. We want to be seen. We want to be respected. We want to be appreciated. And so I definitely give him the love. I give him the respect. And I see him. Dustin, I see you, brother, with everything that you did in 2024. In the years prior to that, and I also see everything that you're doing here in the 2025 season as we are getting underway. Your boy is riding pretty good in this race if y'all can see it. You know what I mean? We got James Barnwell, a couple of riders up in the CLWJ. He also has a YouTube channel. And yeah, like I'm tucked in behind this guy. You will see this guy that I'm behind with Equine socks on. You will see him again later in the race, number 478. You will see him again later on in the race. But I'm actually racing pretty darn good, if I could say. Like, I don't know if the pace was right. I don't know what it was. I don't know if this race was totally different from the last time I did the Masters 1 through 4 race, but this race definitely motivated me and encouraged me to stay consistent, to stay true to what I know that Garnett or Whit can do. This race definitely was a motivation going into the off season. And again, this race happened on September the 7th. I believe it was the last race of the season, so I'm calling it the season closer, the season ender. But this race definitely told me I was on to something. So again, sitting behind Dustin's wheel, came underneath him, and again, just trying to stay connected. And look, I'm at the front, y'all. Look, I'm like, what's this? Fifth wheel. You know, we got Coach Freeman right there. Now your boy, I'm up here. I am fourth wheel, ladies and gentlemen. Fourth wheel. What is this Clydesdale doing? I should be like 10 more riders back in a bigger draft. You know what I mean? But I am up here, fourth wheel, and just riding this race. I'm just being active in the race. I'm being attentive. I'm being present. And honestly, when you do those things, it does make for a much funner experience in the scene. Like, yes, being a Clydesdale and sitting in the pack and waiting for the sprint finish and finishing well is fun, is nice, it's awesome. But honestly, for the duration of that race, it's kind of boring. You know what I mean? But when you're up here going with these moves, and when you have the fitness where you can pop off and do an attack, and when you can try to, pull off the front and run the pace up, it really does make for a totally different experience when you're racing. You are literally racing your bike. And I encourage everybody to do that. Stay in the category level to where you can learn, stay in that category to where you can place well, stay in that category to where you can start podiuming, stay in that category to where you can be a force to reckon with. And I was told this by a friend of mine that works or owns Velo Pasadena. He told me, he doesn't race anymore, but he told me that when he raced, he said he was a Cat 4, and he's like, I stayed in Cat 4, and people should know what it's like to go through the ranks of the category that you're in, and then Cat up. There's a lot of people nowadays that, being a novice or a Cat 5, they do their one race, then they Cat up to Cat 4. And they do their races, they get their points, and they may not have won. They may have won a few times. And then they get the points, and they Cat to a Cat 3. And now they're a Cat 3, and they're struggling, and they're showing up to the race, and they're finishing, top 20s and top 30s or whatever, maybe some top 10s, top 5s, maybe get some podiums. But they really haven't experienced all the things there is to experience in that category as a Cat 4, but they went ahead and catted up to a Cat 3. And it only gets harder, ladies and gentlemen. It only gets harder as you continue to cat up. So I used to be a Category 3, but back in 2021, when I came back on the scene, I made up my mind. I did a couple races, I believe, in 2022, I deployed. So in 2023, I think I did a couple of races, and I downgraded back to a 4 in 2023. In 2024, I started racing late. I didn't start racing until March of last year. And so I did like 15 to 17 races last year, but yet there was definitely growth had. And my plan this year is to do 4s the whole year, and let's see where I end up in September of 2025. And hopefully I'm in a better place than where I was at September of 2024 to be in a position to where I can cat up, or to be in a position to where I am a force to reckon with as a Category 4 racer. And I'm also 43 years old. So I'm 43 years old, racing at 44. So I'm definitely a masters racer. It's just that I'm taking myself back through the paces so that I can be a better masters racer, to be a better Category 3 racer when I cat up. Hence what I was saying, there's some things that I got to do. And when I catted up to a Cat 3, it was truly all ego and pride as to why I did it. Now that I've been there, I've done that, just like with this channel. I've been there, done that with trying to get the subscribers, trying to get 1,000, trying to make my account monetized, to receive an extra couple of pennies for doing these videos. I'm here for the connection. And I said that in the last video, I am here totally for the connection. So if you notice in the top of the screen there, my garment is wobbling and shaking all over the place. So please bear with me with that. And this is one of the reasons why I thought about going to the chest mount, because I don't have to worry about stuff coming loose and possibly losing things or breaking things regarding things being attached to my bike. So again, we got the pace we're going 29 miles an hour as we go through turn number 4. I am on Dustin Benedict's wheel. And like your boy's riding well. Heart rate is at 180, 181. My revolutions per minute is up. They're at 85 to 90. But yeah, we're coming through the start and finish, and this is finishing out lap number 5. All right, so I'm going to take an audible break. You know what I mean? I had a friend of mine, he called me, he's like, bro, you talked the whole time, which was hilarious because you don't realize how much stuff you have to say, how many things come to your mind when you're really doing these commentaries and these voiceovers. And at the same time, you don't want it to be boring, right? So you try to think of things that you've experienced, things that you could share. And every time it could be the same old, but sometimes it can be different jargon, different information, different babbling, to keep it interesting, to keep it informative. And so I'm here. So please leave down in the comment section below, again, if you would like to see a vlogger, going back to doing the vlogger videos, or if you prefer these these indoor trainer type rides, these races where you can, put this thing on and ride your Zwift ride or ride your indoor trainer, for 50 minutes, 30 minutes or whatever, and have some type of race footage or some type of cycling visuals while you are doing the indoor ride, while you're at home or in the hotel room or wherever you may be. So I'm going to give you guys a audible pause and let's enjoy this race. And if there's anything crazy that happens in the race, what I'll do is I will chime in to share what that experience was. And again, something that you may have questions about. So again, I'm going to try to do that, make it less talky, and make it a little bit more visual, stimulating. So please enjoy as I sit on Pat Carroll's wheel. With that being said, I'm not sure if you've noticed it or not, as you look at his bike, yes, he is on his gravel bike racing. Pat Carroll came out on his gravel bike and he's racing it. He's holding 27 miles an hour on a gravel bike with big old tires. He's a beast. Yes, he's strong. And again, I share with you, this video is about 48 minutes long, and we are currently halfway through. So we are about 23, 24 minutes in this video, the video being 47, 48 minutes. So again, bear with me. I will chime in from time to time just to give you something to think about, something to ponder. And yeah, hopefully I can give you something to keep you engaged. All right, y'all, enjoy. Yes, you see it. Your boy was making moves. There is currently a 3-man breakaway with this guy right here, chasing. I'm bringing him in. I'm pulling. I'm reeling him in. Again, I'm on the front. I was racing really strong, really well on this day. I don't have any answers. I don't know what was going on. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I definitely look forward to being able to race several races like this in 2025. And I think this is where Pat's going to be giving me that push here pretty soon. Look at the shadows. If you can see the shadows as we're coming through this backside between turn 1 and turn 2, I think there is a moment where you may be able to see Pat actually come up behind me and nudge me, and that just kept me on. So a couple of things. So again, looking to the top right, you see there the lap counter. So again, we have 12 total laps that we're doing in this race, and we are currently on lap number 8. You notice there that lap number 5 was the fastest lap of being 3 minutes and 48 seconds. That's definitely something that you want to take note of when you're doing your races. So a big thing about that I've noticed with racing, especially when it comes to breakaways and different things like that, and races that have preems that are included with inside of it. And if you don't know what a preem is, it's pretty much like a sprint lap, or, it's within the block of time that you're racing. They will pick a lap that whoever comes across the line first for that lap will win money, win a product, win merchandise, win a free entry to another race. There's always something being given during a preem. Not every race event has preems. Not every race has preems. So that's definitely something to be mindful of. And with those preems, watch when they're being offered, because again, you see this is, a 12-lap race, 50-minute race. And usually when you hit the halfway mark, which is what I mentioned earlier, people will definitely try to go for those preems offered, during and around the halfway period time. And usually what happens is the peloton is not really motivated to follow that, because, we assume for some reason that, we're going to work together to bring those people back. But the people that usually go for those preems, they end up breaking away. And because it's, half the time is remaining, people are very hesitant on chasing it down. As you can kind of see up the road, when you get a chance, there is a group up the road. You can see it right there. There's a group up the road, And you can really tell that nobody's really like hunkering in to chase that back. We're over halfway through. So it's definitely something to be watchful of, something to be mindful about when you're racing. If you know that the race is 50 minutes, at around 25 to 30 minutes, be very, very vigilant to see if there's any moves being made up the road. If you have the fitness to go with those moves, you can see those guys up there now, they've already gone through the turn as we're now going through turn number 3. So you see that there's a group up there, and we're back here. But I do think we reconnect with that group. So there was really nothing to be concerned about during this moment, during this race. Let's keep going. So check this out. I'm sitting behind this guy on Evo. I'm not sure what his name is, but the guy with the dreads. And you notice something under his saddle? Yeah, a saddlebag. And we're racing. If you get a flat, you're not about to stand on the side of the road and fix it and try to jump back into the race. There's not enough time for that. So if you guys are racing, if you gals are racing, please make sure you remove saddlebags, lights, all the things that you're definitely not going to be using in a race. That just makes your bike a little bit heavier. Also, I would say be mindful of your bottle stowage. Like if you're doing a 30-minute race, a 50-minute race, do you need 2 bottles? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below. Like if you need 2 bottles, are you doing water in one and then mix in the other? Are you 2 waters? And how does your body respond how does your body respond? I think for anything less than an hour, you don't need 2 bottles. You maybe just one bottle. And like for me, I've noticed that my body, yes, I love juice. I love all the things, right? I love the mixes. I love all that stuff. But I recognize that my body really, even though I would prefer a fruity flavored beverage, what I'm starting to really tap into is that my body just likes water when it comes in these endurance efforts. Also, with that being said, What's you all's take on nutrition? Are you a gel type of person? Are you a goo type? Like when I say gel, I mean like what you squeeze into your mouth, or is it are you like a fruit chew type of person, or are you a bar? You know, what kind of nutrition person are you? Do you have to have food on your rides? Not particularly in the races, but maybe, you know, on a ride. Do you got to stop and get a burger, you know, a hot dog? Because that's me. If we're doing anything more than a century metric, I got to get some food in me. We can stop at a 7-Eleven, a Wawa, a Quick Trip, a Buc-ee's. We got to stop somewhere. You know what I mean? The petrol station, we got to stop somewhere to get me something, because I'm a big body benzo, and this Clydesdale has to eat because I burn through fuel. So again, just some things to put down in the comment section. I'm definitely here for it, because that last video, if you didn't comment on that last one, add your comment to that too, because we are running strong with 60 comments. I think that video probably has the most comments that I've ever experienced, with having well over 400 videos on this YouTube channel. And again, as I said earlier, please comment, like, and if you're feeling generous, do your boy a favor, subscribe. All right, back to the race. And the reason why I'm not going around Lance is because I know Lance is a strong rider. He just is a rider that prefers a high cadence. If you notice, that boy is spinning. Yes, there's a little bit of gap in front of him, but I know he has the power. He's a very strong dude. So I'm literally just sitting, you know, at his 630, because I know that he's strong. And as you see, we're at 10 laps. We're at lap 10. So after this, that's going to be lap 11, and then we pretty much be like 1 to go. And this is another reason why the pace has slowed up drastically, because maybe only in the pro race, the pro 1-2 races, when people will just go on the front and just drive it, like that guy is doing right there. But a lot of people don't want to be on the front. They don't commit to just really getting on the front and running up the pace and maintaining that pace. So you'll have guys that'll pop off and go on the front, and then they'll fall back, you know. But this guy that went up the road looks pretty committed to, you know, he's committed to the effort. So we'll see what happens. But again, we are about to finish out. We're going here pretty soon. We'll be hitting turn number 3, and that we will be then going across start finish again, which will be the start of lap 11. So going through the start finish, that should leave us with 2 laps to go. So I'm gonna let this thing play. And when we get around here on the last lap, I'll come back and talk to you again. So please hang out here with me, and let's have a good time. So you see there, I moved off of Lance's wheel and onto Dustin's wheel. I wonder why. One, because Dustin was progressing forward, as well as he is a bigger body. And plus he was carrying the momentum for me to kind of slide in behind him to be brought right back to this group of gentlemen. So again, not a lot of effort from me, not a lot of work from me. But yet you saw me move from one strong rider that was not really progressing forward to another strong rider that was progressing forward, plus he was larger. So it made it very, very easy for me to hopscotch back to this lead group. Now we've gone through turn number 4, and we are on our way through the start finish to start lap number 11. Two laps to go. So this gentleman sitting in front of me right here at PRT. His name is, I think it's Jesse Munez. This dude is super strong. Like, when I was behind him, I was like, oh, this is another great person to follow. He knows how to find his way to the front. He rides really strong, really intelligent, really tactician. He's a tactician, and he just knows how to ride his bike. And so I was really happy to find myself around Jose or Jesse. Again, I don't mean to butcher people's names, but you know, this is all kind of spur of the moment, and you say what comes to your mind in these moments, especially since I don't have the course roster from Eldo races. So again, we are now about to make our way to turn number 3, as we pretty much have the final lap. So yeah, check it out. All right, y'all. Final lap. And you see everybody trying to make their way to the front. But we still got a couple more turns to go. You don't want to get too far forward too soon, because all it's going to do is there's going to be a reshuffling. So you have to time it just right. Know the peloton, know the group of guys, group of women that you're racing with. Figure out the race dynamic, and every single race is different. You can do the same course 100 times. I guarantee you 99 times that race, every race that you've done, 99% of the time, each one's going to be different than the last. So just know the dynamics of your race to know when is the appropriate time to move up. Because when we make this turn, it's a headwind. And I was definitely trying to stay sheltered, because as we make this turn, we are literally going into a headwind. And look, it all slows down. Nobody's pedaling for real. Nobody's putting down no watts, because we're literally in a headwind. So nobody wants to be there. And so again, now you're going to have a reshuffle again, because now everybody's going to bunch up and people are going to be in different places. See, look, everybody's moving all over the place, and I'm just maintaining, and I move right up here. I'm like literally in the top 10 right now of the peloton, and I'm just sliding in. I want to stay in the middle. I want to stay out of the headwind, and Pat's over there on the right side moving up with Bart on his wheel. You got Kendall following that, because Bart's very strong. Bart is notorious for winning. Also, you have up there on the left side Steve Remy that just moved up in the I think it's Monster Racing Kit's green kit. So now we've just gone through turn number 3. And so we pretty much now got a crosswind. Again, that wind is blowing from our right to our left. And so I'm behind Anthony Freeman's wheel. So watch this guy in big orange right here. He's going to try to kind of like close me off as Anthony moves up. So he comes over too much, and I've raced with him before. Got to watch, little sketch, but yet putting out a little bit of power. I'm moving up, And you see I got Bart right there, Kendall right there. I should have went all the way up to Bart's wheel. I should have kept going up, put me a little bit far forward. And watch Anthony Freeman over here in the big orange kit. He's going to actually run off the road. Watch this. You can't see him right now, but he's to my left. But you're going to see he's going to get ran off the road here in a second. They're about to go off the road right there. Anthony went off the road over there. I'm on Lance's wheel. He's spinning like 10,000 rotations per minute. Look at that. We got riders up here bumping. I'm on Lance's wheel, and there's the ASOS jersey again. I told you, watch it. He's going to see him again. And so right now, I'm like, oh, my God, I'm actually doing good. I'm like, am I top 10, top 15? Oh, my goodness. I couldn't believe it. Your boy came across the line 12th overall and 6th in my age category. And this one I think was 50 plus, 40 plus. And your boy did really well. So ladies and gentlemen, please comment, like, subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. Your boy, C-Dub, a.k.a. Whit. Peace.